You don't want to hear about history no more? You don't want to learn about what happened in the past? All right, let's talk about how it correlates to right now. But before I get started on that, I'm going to tell you how the U.S. corporation is operating out of a lack mindset. And this is why we as the people have been getting these downloads and these messages regarding capitalism and regarding consumerism. It is because it is out of lack. It is out of the lack that they even came here with, that they're designing and creating all of these things to be able to siphon and take and create and plant lack mindsets into the seeds, into the land, and into the minds of the people of the land. And this is due to the fact that the indentured servants who came over here from their countries to escape the prisons that they were in exchange or a bribe or a loan to settle and lay claims to the land for the country. All right, now that we got that out the way, then they essentially act as the principals or the watchers over the people, and the people being the janitors or the custodians of said land. Again, the land known as America, which is tied to the corporation that was formed called the United States, which leads us to about around 1900. You see this with all the, the different billionaires and, corporation owners, your franchise owners on down, your fast food chains, where you shop at, all of the different designers and brands. Yeah, but they're doing it on a smaller level because now that the United States corporation has formed over the land of Central America, and yes, I said Central, not North. For more information, you can check out the videos about the maps of the world that I posted and what's going on with that. But back to the story, because again, TikTok, this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I am not intending to persuade, inform, or attack any groups of people. This is all alleged. But we see that today with the modern trading of slaves. Ooh, I meant to say people with social security numbers and birth certificates, because that's how you tie the land or the people to the corporation. Now you got some states like California specifically that have a lot of regulations when it comes to these corporate entities, these companies, etc., etc. And then you have those states who are still highly in tune with the countries that they came from, that the indentured servants came from, the same 7 countries that colonized the whole lands that we know of as America, North, Central, and South. Some of the same countries who want Greenland because it's a part of it. Anyway. And the same countries who participated in those world wars that was way bigger than just the 7 continents, or way bigger than the countries they told you was fighting in it. You see, since we talking about modern times, let's run it back just 100 years to 1926. When a lot of reclassification, reorganization, and rewriting was going on right before the turn of the millennium. Well, if you go back to my page a couple of videos down, and it might actually be the video before this one, you'll see that I said that this realm operates in cycles of 10s, 3s, 100s, and millennias or thousands. Basically, 1s and 0s. But that's another conversation for a different day. Like I said, go check out that video. Because when the millennia turned from 99 to 2000, got real, changed dramatically. You just were unaware because, again, we've entered a different age, a different century, and now we're within the 2nd decade in 2026. But going back to 1926, that's right around the time of, the Great Depression, right? And then going back 1826, that was right before the Indian Removal Act, right? The depression of the people that are originally on the land. Well, if we go back just 50 years ago instead of 100, after World War II and around the time of the Vietnam War, there was a gas crisis. Then it was the epidemic. And then everything just went left after that. But then the millennia came and 2000 came. So from 76 to 26 is the first half of a new century or timeline for the U.S. court. Now, how does this correlate to these companies and these franchises and these modern day plantations? Well, that's when the whole looking over the Constitution thing comes into play. Because you can't be a slave. Being a slave is illegal unless you have committed a crime against the U.S. corporation. From 1926 to 1976 is the last 50 years that this corporation had to stand. Meaning they're up for renewal, but the change of the millennia affected that. This is when slavery actually ended. It's just the Constitution made it so that it reworded it so you didn't know that you were a slave or a prisoner of war or in servitude to that Constitution. So when you come and you talking about, oh, what does this have to do with now, or how did this correlate to that? It's the same thing. It's cycles, baby. The world is, if you ain't learned nothing about it now, we operate off of cycles. We operate off of cyclical natures. We don't operate in straight lines. It ain't no past, present, future. No, nigga, it's the here and the now. I say, baby.